This is a Carrier 5-ton unit manufactured in 1986, installed in this home in 1990. It is a gas burning furnace. It has served 32 years with very little problems until now. It looks like we went down 4 pounds of Freon. Our evaporator was freezing up, so I wanted to see what actually took place when the evaporator was freezing up. The only thing that I could notice at the time was this line was starting to get frost on it, and this is the return line. This line should be warm or hot to the touch. This one was completely frozen, was starting to come on the outside, but this is the cold line. And this was icing up, and I was seeing the ice back here too. So what I did for purposes of exploration is I took apart the evaporator to see it was a block of ice first of all, and then I knew I was going to replace the unit with a new heat pump system. So I added a couple neat features, I think. What I did is I cut out a section of the air handler and put in a picture frame with just typical glass so I could see what's in there. And I also cut out so I could see inside the evaporator part of the shielding that goes over the evaporator coils. I know this is going to allow a lot of heat to escape and a lot of air conditioning to escape. That's why I did it, so I could see it, so it would help band-aid it for the weekend until I can get a new system. So don't say too much in the comments. As you can see, all of these were just freezing up. This was one solid block of ice when I come out here after maybe 15 minutes of running. So I wanted to see what actually was happening. As you can see, it does get moist, it does get humid. Inside the house humidity is about 24%. The drain here is not clogged, it is actually pouring out clean water. And then you can see the inside. Kind of dirty. And those are the gas furnace heater elements. The gas furnace is, of course, we're replacing this with a heat pump, so no more natural gas. Next thing to be replaced with no natural gas will be the water heater. I'll go with a heat pump water heater as well. The wheel on this inside here is kind of got rusted from just the debris, water intrusion, moisture over the years, so the fan is kind of wobbly inside here. So to trim this up and make it run better, it would just take a good amount of work, and it still uses gas. So to reduce our carbon footprint, we are moving to a heat pump. When it was freezing, both lines were actually freezing. I guess it was 35 pounds, which is industrial freezer pressure. So it, of course it's going to freeze over when it's at that kind of pressure. We'll be replacing the 32-year-old air handler with a new American standard TEM6, manufactured in November of 2021. So very new unit. It's got the variable speed ECM controlled fan in it. We'll be able to set that to We're actually not doing any secondary heating. We're just going to completely use the heat pump as it's designed out here in Southern California. We do not need secondary heating down here in the Rancho Cucamonga area. It is never below 32, and if 32 below, that is on a very rare occasion, and these air handlers and heat pump combinations are able to withstand down to -10 and still function with pretty good efficiency. The new air handler does not have a heating element installed. The heating element would be installed here, right above the fan. It's an electric heating element if needed. This is the emergency heat. This emergency heat would be the electric. We're not going to do that because it rarely gets below 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And my understanding is anything below 15, you may need electric heaters to help keep up with heating the house. This does not need that. This is the wiring that we're going to be configuring to a Nest thermostat, and the enhanced mode for the fan shut off for cooling and heating. Kind of nice little ramp there. We're in Southern California where it is dry and dry, no humidity. Humidity at the most is 24%, so this should work out just fine. A lot of owners that are in humid climates say don't do this because it just throws humidity back into the building or your home. In our case, more humidity the merrier. Actually make things a little bit cooler feeling inside too. So we will be doing that. And then other things of note, the pressure for a 5-ton, all dip switches off on this one. If we increase to the 400 CFM, that last dip switch on the right turns on. The American Standard Silver Series TEM6 air handler, and then the American Standard Silver Series 5-ton condenser. We do have a Tesla Powerwall 2 with 2 Powerwalls. This helps us reduce our carbon footprint, and now even further, moving from a gas furnace to a heat pump. This is the brand new heat pump. It's a Silver Series 15 or Silver Series 14 with 15 SEER. This is important. It is Energy Star with the 9.5 coupled with that TEM6 air handler. As you can see, it comes with the filter dryer attached to it that goes in line. American Standard Silver Series 5-ton. Heating in the air. This was manufactured in August of 2022, so just last month. Be installed. We were lucky enough to find one that was in stock. Happy to have it here. It is hard to get a hold of any of them. The higher end models, the 18, the 19, the Platinum series, they are not in stock. Could not get any of those out here in Southern California, even if I paid extra. Spine fin, you can see these are aluminum coils wrapped in aluminum with these little spiny features that's supposed to provide extra efficiency in the cooling. The Silver Series has double wrapped, so there's 2 rows of those. Big fan swoop blades, So when this fan spins around, those blades actually cut the air and cause the fan and the air disturbance to kind of angle upward and provide the sound dampening. So these units are very quiet. The compressor itself, you can see down there, is not covered with a blanket, a compressor blanket. That is one of the sound dampening mechanisms that they have in the Gold series and the Platinum series. I am going to look to see if there's actually a blanket that fits this. But I'm told that the Silver series are pretty quiet too. It's 70 decibels. But with a blanket, you could probably get that down to 50 or so decibels like the other Gold or Platinum series. That's a single speed compressor. Energy Star rated, so you get a $300, up to $300 on your taxes back. So looking forward to that again this year. This right here is the switchover valve that switches from air conditioning to heating. That's the piece that makes it a heat pump. The magic happens right there. Simple switch moves it from one side circulating to the other side circulating. So where the heat actually goes, so in cooling, the heat comes out the top here, but when it switches to the heat pump mode, the other device inside the air handler, that condenser will actually handle the heat part of it, and this will be blowing out cool air, kind of like a air conditioning of the outside in the winter, or sucking in the heat from the winter air and moving that into the house. Crazy that that actually works that way, but super efficient and causes no greenhouse gases. This is the old carrier equipment that we will be replacing. This has lasted 32 years, and I believe I have only had the motor replaced. The compressor in there has not been replaced. This is original equipment. Compressor has lasted, like I said, 32 years. Just amazing. Only replacing the fan once, and it's lasted the years from basketballs hitting it to out here in the weather. The rain just comes off the roof and drops right down on it. I probably could have protected that by a rain eave or a rain gutter. This is a single, you can see here it's just a single line that goes around it, where these are double lines going around it with the spine fins. So more efficient there. And then you can even see condensation on here now. So I'm probably already losing Freon in wherever I have the leak. It didn't go down very much, but the problem we were having is this was just icing up super fast. And this was the return line was even getting iced up too. This may be a problem because I only see 3 wires, and I think the new system requires 4 wires. So they may have to pull wires. We will keep an eye on that when that happens. We're taking off the SCE box. Southern California Edison would time when the air conditioning could go on and off with the California red alerts, but since we have Tesla solar, we will not need that because we'll be on solar. And then also we've signed up for the virtual power plant, where our excess solar will be able to give back at $2 a kilowatt hour during the 4 to 9 flex alert windows. So hopefully we'll generate money that way too, pay for this system quicker. The air handler and heat pump ran us about $8,500. for this particular Silver Series model in the TEM6. I think it was the best we could do at the time. American standard is, of course, Train, or Train is American standard. I'm not sure which direction it actually goes, but it is one of the best units in the business. So looking forward to see what the savings are. Y heat cool, G fan, O to heat pump, power, 24 volt common, and auxiliary heat. Heat pump type, forced air. Heat pump. O is common, B is less common, so it's O. And use the pump compressor when outdoor temperature is above always. And then use the heat pump auxiliary heating when the outdoor temperature is below 15 degrees. Otherwise, the heat pump is still efficient at above 15 degrees. Go setup. And go back. And done.